Direction Prabhuji, I see you have joined, so we can start the class in 2 minutes.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you. Yeah. So I will start the class with brief introduction and Prabhuji introduction, sorry, and then we can start the class. So, okay, yeah, we can, let's give it 2 minutes, Prabhuji, and then we can start at 7 p.m.
That's fine.
Thank you.
So how many people are here now? I'd
Currently, I
send
see,
I'd send the link to some people. I don't know if they're joining, but yeah, okay. All right. You still have that same presentation, right? Ishwara Krishna Prabhu? I'm going
so
to
Prabhuji,
speak from the same presentation as before.
okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, so let's get started. So I will start with a brief introduction. So, Hare Krishna, I'm truly grateful that you all gathered here to learn about one of the most sacred and revered plants in our tradition. Tulsi hold unique importance as both a sacred plant and a personification of devotion to Krishna, inspiring reverence and care among the participants. Tulsi is honored as the earthly manifestation of Vrinda Devi, who is regarded as both the greatest devotee and a beloved consort of Lord Vishnu. Before we start the class of Tulsi Mahima and taking care of Tulsi, I'd like to give a brief introduction of our today's speaker. Our today's speaker is disciple of His Holiness Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami. Prabhuji has done PhD in aerospace engineering and live in Houston along with his family. Prabhuji got introduced to bhakti from very early age of 12 when his elder sister purchased the Bhagavad Gita as it is from Prabhupada and a complete set of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhuji manages Tamal Krishna Goswami Memorial Foundation, which continues the sacred legacy of Goswami Maharaj by printing and distributing his books. Prabhuji also takes care of Tulsi Devi at ISKCON of Houston, and he is always eager to distribute and glorify Tulsi. So, on behalf of ISKCON Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya North America, I'd like to welcome our today renowned speaker, His Grace Rasikendra Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. So, whenever you're ready, you can start the class.
Hare Krishna.
We have almost 20 devotees right now, so yeah, we can start that.
I'm not a renowned speaker, I'm just a speaker. So, anyway, thank you for the very gracious introduction. Um, it's my honor to be here amongst all of you to share some knowledge uh, about Tulsi Devi, um, which which I've gathered and which through my own personal experience taking care of Tulsi. I can share that today with you all. I'll share that with you all. And by the way, one of my Tulsi Care team members is here today, Antonio. He's part of our Tulsi Care team. He's on video, unlike most of you who have hidden yourself. Uh, So we have Antonio here, who's part of our Tulsi Care. So very dedicated team we have of Tulsi, taking care of Tulsi here in Houston. So I would like to share a presentation which I did the last time, like probably last year sometime, and I think some of you probably a good part of you may not have attended this the last time. So let me share my screen. So you need to give me rights to share.
Yes, Prabhu, I did, and I will make a co-host also.
Okay. Okay. So today we'll be speaking about Tulsi Devi. Just, the glories of Tulsi Devi are unlimited. Just like Krishna, his glories are unlimited, Radharani's glories are limited. The glories of Krishna's pure devotees are also unlimited. So there was the early days when the devotees were building New Vrindavan Temple, West Virginia. New Vrindavan, is a little distant from any kind of population. So my Guru Maharaj at that time asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, is it really worth it building a temple so far away? At that time, they were building the golden palace for Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, just like Krishna's glories are unlimited, the glories of the spiritual master source unlimited. So there's no fault building something even distant away. So my Guru Maharaj was saying, why don't we build the temple, a golden temple closer to the city? So like that. So Tulsi Maharani's glories are unlimited. And all of you all know everywhere in India, in fact, even all over the world, typically where Indians are, and of course, when I say Indians, not only just Indians, devotees, practically all of them have a Tulsi plant in their home. Okay, Tulsi, especially in tropical countries, this is outside, of course. In As you get colder, the climate, as you get away from the equator, the care of Tulsi gets a little challenging, especially when the weather becomes cold. So one of the purposes of this class is also how to take care of Tulsi. Um, so this is a very nice picture of Srila Prabhupada chanting beside Tulsi Devi. So Tulsi Devi, Tulsi is very dear to Lord Vishnu. These are some of Srila Prabhupada's own words here. So Prabhupada said that all Vishnu Tattva deities require the Tulsi leaves profusely. So Lord Vishnu's worship is only complete if you have Tulsi leaves. So even if you can't get fresh leaves due to certain circumstances, you can dry Tulsi leaves, especially if it's very challenging. In those of you who are in very cold climate, Houston, it's okay. We are able to manage. Even gets cold, we got a nice greenhouse. But those who can really have the luxury of warm weather and manageable weather, you can dry Tulsi leaves and offer even to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, Krishna. To offering bhog, you can offer put Tulsi leaves, even if it's dry, Krishna will accept it. So Tulsi leaves only specifically for the worship of Lord Vishnu. When I say Lord Vishnu, I mean inclusive of Krishna. Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Even not to be placed in Radharani's lotus feet, only on Vishnu Tattva. Prabhupada say you can put Tulsi leaves on Radharani's palms. Um, um, where, especially I've seen before when she's benedicting the devotees, I've seen some devotees put tulsi leaves. So Prabhupada gave these three mantras to be chanted. This was written to Govinda Dasi, I believe, yeah. Avindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Kesavasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavate Namo Namo. Okay, so and then this is saying that Krishna is Lord Vrinda Devi is very dear to Lord Keshava, which is Krishna. Vishnu Bhakti, she benedicts one with Vishnu Bhakti, and she's also the embodiment of truth, or she's also going to be known as Satyavati. So there's many wonderful names of Tulsi. This is offering obeisances. Tulsi, that's the option. Then when we want to pluck Tulsi, when we want to trim manjaris, Tulsi mritya janma si sada tvam keshava priya keshavarti chinomi tum varada bhavane. So this is another when you about to trim manjaris or pluck leaves. You say Tulsi, you're born of nectar. You're always pleasing Lord Keshava, Keshavarti, and please bestow me, please benedict me with devotional service. Then we know that Yani Kani Chapak Pani Brahma Hadyadikani Chatani Tani Pranashyanti Pradakshina Pade Pade. So, yeah, it is said just by circumambulating Tulsi, one can get rid of all sinful, so many lifetimes of sinful activities. Even the sin of killing a Brahmana. Of course, we don't want to do that. But even up to the point of killing a Brahmana, if you circumambulate Tulsi, even that sin is vanquished. So let me go to the next one. So Tulsi is the expansion of Srimati Radharani. It's just like all the gopis, the manjaris, everyone is expanding from the feminine potency of Krishna, which is Radharani. And she's considered the Leela Shakti because she is actually orchestrates, arranges all the very, very detailed arrangements for Radha Krishna's pastimes. And she's got so many parrot disciples, I think like 2,000 parrot disciples who fly all over Braj Bhumi to spread the news where Radha Krishna will be meeting, what needs to be done, what time are they meeting, what color the decoration should be, what flowers should be used for their garlands. All this, the parrots are going around, and they are all disciples of Vrinda Devi. So Vrinda Devi, Tulsi is the earthly manifestation of Vrinda Devi. There's a very long pastime how she manifests here in this world as Tulsi, and Lord Vishnu appears as Shaligram. So they are united, and the best worship of Shaligram is with Tulsi and Ganga water. You all know that Advaita Acharya, when he prayed for Lord Chaitanya to descend on the bank of the Ganges, he offered Tulsi leaves and Ganges water to his Shaligram Shila. Just by that, Krishna became purchased by Advaita Acharya's offerings, and then he appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have all these songs in ISKCON, which Srila Prabhupada given us. This song Tulsi Kirtan, which we sing every day in the morning during Tulsi Puja. So this is a very wonderful song, a very intimate song. A lot of people worship Tulsi to get some good luck, or I want to create auspiciousness. But actually, the real purpose of worshiping Tulsi is to get the service of Radha and Krishna. Because she is such an exalted devotee, if she blesses you, if she becomes pleased with you, Krishna becomes obligated to give you bhakti. So Krishna is always Krishna, like when you offer bhog, if there's no tulsi leaves, Krishna may not be very inclined to accept. But if you put a tulsi leaf there, even though you don't have any devotion, or like in my case, don't have any devotion, but my hope is that if I put tulsi, Krishna becomes pleased and will accept the offering. So Tulsi is beloved of Krishna, bow down before you again. My desire is to obtain the service of Shri Radha and Krishna. ये तुम्हारा शरण लोय तारवंच पूर्णा होय कृपा kuri koro tare Vrindavanavasi. Whoever takes shelter of you has his wishes fulfilled, bestowing your mercy on him, you make him a resident of Vrindavan. Okay, so it's very clearly stated. So if you take shelter of Tulsi, we should never see Tulsi as a plant. Even though botanically she's a plant, we should treat Tulsi like she's a person. So if you're going on a vacation, Tulsi is there. Oh, she's just a plant. It's okay. So if you got Tulsi at home, if you are going away and the whole family is going away, you have to hand over your Tulsi to a trusted person to take care of. Somebody who know how to take care of Tulsi. Somebody would not become offensive to Tulsi. Somebody would water Tulsi. So somebody would deal with Tulsi very delicately. Moraya Vilas Kunje Diyovas, Nayane Hirivo Sada, Jugala Ruparasi. My desire is that you will always give me a resident the pleasure groves of Srivrindavan, thus within my vision. I will always behold the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So this devotee, he's singing that I want, my desire is that you give me a residence in one of the pleasure groves of Vrindavan Dham, where Radha and Krishna are enacting your pastime. So that means Tulsi Devi has the potency to award you then. And then this is completely Braj Bhakti, and not only Braja Bhakti, this song is full of Madhurya Bhakti. I beg you to make me a follower of the cowherd damsels of Braj. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maid servant. So Vrinda Devi has got the most intimate service of Radha and Krishna. So here we are begging to make us one of her followers, to become one of her maid servant. Dina Krishna dase koi e yana mora hoi Shri Radha Govinda preme sada yana. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna praise may always swim in the love of Shri Radha and Govinda. So Tulsi Devi has all the potency to award that. So this is another Vrinda Devi Ashtakam by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Very beautiful prayers. We don't have time to go, but I think later Ishwar Krishna Prabhu will be sharing this, right, with the devotees here?
Yes, Prabhu. It's also been recorded, the YouTube,
Okay.
so it's already on
Yes.
the YouTube. Yeah, I'll
Okay,
share
so
the link.
this is another Tulsi Arati by Chandrasekhar Kavi. Um, so it's another beautiful prayers. So let's so this is the Brinda Devi in Kamyavan, very ancient deity. This is actually a 10-armed form of Brinda Devi. I don't know if you all have gone. This place, the Rajasthanis, they call it Kaman, but it's in Kamyavan. It's in the border of Braj and Rajasthan. So Brinda Devi, beautiful deity. She's very dark, exquisitely beautiful deity. Somebody's got some chat there, so asking some questions. Later we'll deal with the questions. But she's normally dressed. This is said to be found by Rupa Goswami, and then it was moved during the Mughal invasion to that part of Rajasthan. And she's dressed, normally they don't show all her arms, they only show her face. Okay, so this is the original deity at Vrindakund. I know some of y'all, a good part of y'all may have gone to Vrindakund, but this was the deity which was there, which was later stolen by some dacoits and they broke her arm. And then this was the Vrindakund before it was renovated. Then because the arm was broken, so the devotees there, of course, not at that time ISKCON devotees, they decided that they need to get a new deity. And then Baba Madhav in 1988, I think, he was the one who was taking care, very nice, wonderful, exalted Brajabasi. He approached ISKCON and requested that we continue the care. When he was getting old, he requested, and then Dinabandhu Prabhu, Mother Devi Shakti, they all worked very hard to kind of rejuvenate the whole. Let me just put it on full screen mode. So this is now the Vrindakund temple. This is Vrindakund. It's beautiful. The temple is all made out of stone. That's the beautiful deity of Vrinda Devi there. And behind this Vrinda Kund, there's another Kund called Gupta Kund. And Baba Madhav's Samadhi is there by Gupta Kund. So they placed him in Samadhi there. Dinabandhu Prabhu and all. So these are some of the more close-up pictures of Vrinda Devi. She's holding a lotus, and you can see she also holds a parrot. Like earlier on, we showed that picture. Where's that? Even that, not this one. Yeah. So this was before it was renovated. This was after it was renovated. So devotees worked very hard. Dinabandhu Prabhu, Mother Devi Shakti, and so Vrinda Devi has many names, and these are some of her principal names. Vrinda Devi, she who has thousands of Sakhis. I mean, Vrinda means something which is a group. Anything, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, we say, right? A group of Gaura Bhakta devotees. So, and she normally, Tulsi always grows in clusters. Normally, because if a manjari falls, if a manjari sheds a seed, they all in the same area, and then she grows very collectively. Sometimes you can have like in a square inch, you can have 100 of tulsi saplings growing. Vrindavani, one who is from Vrindavan, one who is manifesting, one who never leaves Vrindavan. Different meanings you can. One Visva Pujita, one who the whole universe worships. She is so worshipable that the whole universe can worship her. That's how exalted she is. Just like Krishna, the whole universe worships Krishna, Radharani. Similarly, Tulsi Devi, she can deliver the whole universe. And she is most worshipable. Pushpasara, she is the essence of all flowers. Nandini, she gives happiness to everyone. Krishna Jivani, the life and soul of Krishna. Vishwapavani, one who purifies the three worlds, or one who uplifts the whole world, one who delivers the whole three worlds. Tulasi, one who's got no peers, That means one who has got no comparison. She's so exalted because she's Radharani's manifestation. Because she is the manifestation, so she has no peers, one who has no comparison. Narayani, she's the consort of Lord Narayan. So like that. So she's got many wonderful names. So there's two type of Tulsi. Tulsi botanical name is Ocimum sanctum, or technically it's called Ocimum tenuiflorum. Ram and Sham Tulsis are both considered the same species. Tulsi is considered to be part of the mint family. The family, the various gradations, right? If you go up, the last one is the species. I think two step above is family. So the family is part of the mint family, botanically. Ram Tulsi. Of course, if you go to different parts of the world, especially in more tropical climate, Tulsi has got a much stronger aroma, much stronger taste. It's got to do with the weather. So if the weather is not very sunny, you'll find Tulsi has got a more subdued flavor. The flavor is still there, but as you get closer and closer to the equator, the flavor of Tulsi really comes out because she's really a tropical plant. That's Ram Tulsi, very distinguishable, green. And then this is Sham, purple. Sometimes it can get really dark, depending how much sun is there, if she's well nourished. So there's another Tulsi called one Tulsi. It's called Ocimum gratissimum. Northern part of India, they have this. And it's very cold tolerant. The Manjaris were like almost quite indistinguishable, but you can see that the Manjaris are different, slightly different. But the basil, the cooking basil, which the Italian basil, you can see that the Manjaris are quite distinct from the Manjaris of Tulsi. But for this one Tulsi, they almost like Ram and Sham Tulsi. So Krishna says himself in the Bhagavad Gita, what does he mean when he says patram pushpam phalam toyam? Oh, somebody can say, oh, if you offer a leaf, I'll accept it. But the acharyas, especially Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, says when Krishna says patram, he actually specifically means tulsi leaf. Okay. So you should try as much as possible. So Krishna first, he doesn't say Pushpam, phalam, patram. He says patram first, right? So we should at every expense have tulsi in our offering. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tat aham bhakti uparitam asnami prayatatmana. Devotion. Okay, now what about those without devotion? This a question comes. Will Krishna accept your offering? Krishna makes a specific qualification here. Krishna doesn't say, if one offers me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. He says, if one offers me with love and devotion, love and devotion. So, how about people like me who don't have love and devotion? So, our hope is Tulsi. So we all put Tulsi and we offer. Krishna almost becomes obligated to accept it. Even though Krishna is not obligated to anything, because Tulsi is so dear to Krishna, he accepts your offering. So this is the Srimad Bhagavatam. It talks about how the four Kumaras, when they went to see Lord Narayan, and how they were prevented from seeing by Jai and Vijay. They were actually Brahmavadis. Even though they knew the Brahman, the Bhagavan aspect, the Paramatma aspect, they were more attracted to the Brahmana. They were not Mayavadis, but they were Brahmavadis, different. They were attracted to the Brahman realization. So when they went to Vaikuntha, and the aroma of Tulsi from Lord Narayan's feet was carried by the breeze and it entered their nostrils. And that completely transformed the body and mind into personalist. So that's how potent Tulsi is. So because she's such a pure devotee and so dear to Krishna, just the aroma of Tulsi can change somebody's mind and give them devotion. Tasyaravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjal kamishra tulasi makarandavayu antagata swavivarena chakarate sham shangshovamakshara jusham apichitta tanvo. So Advaita Acharya, he recited these prayers and offered Tulsi to Shaligram Shila. Tulasi dalamatrena jalasya chulukena va vikrinite swam atmanam bhaktevyo bhaktavatsala. Sri Krishna, who is very affectionate toward his devotees, sells himself to a devotee who offers him merely a tulasi leaf and a palmful of water. This water is actually Ganges water, preferably, because you don't get Ganges water here in Houston. But Tulasi, okay, the glories of Tulsi. So we have 1 hour, right, for this. So Tulsi should never be treated like a plant. Treat her like she's the most worshipable person living with you. You have to treat her like your very intimate family member. You should almost like treat her like your daughter. For those of you, whether you have a daughter or not, you should treat her like your own daughter, and how you will attend to the needs of your daughter, and you're always very conscious about anything which is lacking in the service of your daughter. If she's not properly nourished, you're going to feed her. If she's showing some kind of illness, you're going to attend to her, take her to the doctor. In this case, you have to become the doctor. So you shouldn't just let Tulsi, okay, I'm planting Tulsi, winter comes, she's, okay, she's going to die, never mind, she'll come back. No. As much as possible, if you plant Tulsi on the ground, winter comes, you got to take her out and put it in a pot and bring it inside the house. This is the challenge we have, in cold weather. One must be clean when dealing with Tulsi, when attending to Tulsi. One must be in a humble and devotional mood. So when you see Tulsi, some discrepancy, you see Tulsi is not doing well, you should get help immediately. If even you don't know how to take care of Tulsi, don't wait until she's about to leave her body, then you start calling. Even the moment you notice something is not right, you should attend to her, right? So what are the 3 things which have to be immediately attended to? Death, fire, and disease. So in this case, if Tulsi is not well, you have to attend to her immediately. So in summer, you can water Tulsi liberally, especially in hot weather in Houston. It's better to water Tulsi in the evening, especially in summer, because if you water during the day, in the morning, by the time midday, most of the water evaporates and then she gets dry. So for her to get a lot of water, you can water before the sun sets, and then she's got time to extract all the water. Tulsi should be kept outdoors as much as possible. Okay, if the weather allows, she should be kept outdoors. So if weather drops below 45, you need to bring her inside. And if it's really windy and cold and a lot of wind chill, You should bring Tulsi even 50 degrees. If it drops below, you should bring inside. But I've seen situation where even if it drops to 40 degrees, if the air is still, she still does okay. But the rule of thumb is 45 degrees. But if it's too windy, you got like 10, 15 miles hour wind, even before it's 50, you should bring inside. So the two types of light which is used, one, the red light it supports the growth and expansion of leaves and flowering. Um, and blue light is for chlorophyll production. Okay. So if you have a greenhouse, you should have blue and red light together. That means let's say we have in our Tulsi house, we got like a lamp fixture where we got 4 tubes, and we got many of those lamps. So we alternate between red light, blue light, red light, blue light in the same fixture. Overwatering when she's indoors is some of the biggest mistake devotees make when they see she's turning brown. Oh, there's not enough water. Let me water more. No, when she's indoors, you gotta minimally water Tulsi, even if she's under light, because the root gets rotten and then the leaves starts curling and they starts brown, they starts losing leaves. So if you bring her indoors, invariably you need to have a light in your home, specific agro light. The various brands, but you need light. Some people just keep Tulsi by the windowsill, and that's not enough. Therefore, you see Tulsi will grow tall and she won't branch out. That's an indication there's not enough light. Not trimming manjaris on the time is also a big problem. She becomes very weak because when the manjaris dry up, they sap a lot of Tulsi's energy. So therefore, manjaris have to be trimmed all the time and offered for the worship of the Lord. If you live near the temple, is great. You can trim manjaris, especially in summer, manjaris are produced very profusely. You can take it to your temple and offer them, making garlands and worship, part of the worship, abhishek in the morning, put in the boga. And not trimming manjaris properly is another big. I'll show you some examples. And not noticing infestation. So you got to have a very keen eye when you take care of Tulsi. You got to be very, very attentive to details. If you're not attentive to details, you won't be very successful in taking care of Tulsi. So you see how this should never be done. When you trim manjaris, you should never leave a stalk like that. You see here, there's another stalk here on the left picture. And here, this should never be cut off like that. The stalk you should cut right at the base of the stalk. So no stalk is, you see some picture, you see how this stalk, somebody has very, without much proper understanding, have trimmed the manjaris right, leaving such a stalk behind. So you have to take and trim completely the stalk, because this stalk will start drying and it will start sapping the energy of Tulsi. You see, after cutting, you go to the base of the stalk, and this is how Tulsi needs to be cut. If you're going to cut this, can you all see my curse? There's the middle picture. You see this branch here? If you want to cut manjaris, you need to go like 2 or 4 leaves down. Then you need to go right before where the 2 leaves are starting, right above you have to cut Tulsi. Don't cut Tulsi and leave a stalk like that. So dry twigs should be trimmed off, because dry twigs, they take up a lot of sap, a lot of energy. So you go to the bottom of the twig, make sure there's no, sometimes a twig may look dead, but then closer to the main branch, you will have some leaves. So you got to go past that leaf. And if there are no other leaves past that, you can trim that. And they have to look, yeah. So, I put some red markers. You'll see I've circled it like that. Those are all dried twigs, need to be trimmed. So Tulsi, if you need to kind of occasionally aerate the soil. You gotta like take your fingers and like disturb the soil so the roots can start to breathe. And then water, when you water, the water also enters and you put some nutrients. Here we have put osmocote here, those round globules. So then she will start doing better. So these are all these are dried manjaris, should always trim. Now, another issue you will get with dried manjaris, even the manjari starts falling all over the place, the wind carries, and you will get tulsi all over your yard. And your lawn guy comes and he just mows tulsi with his lawnmower. So you got to be very, very attentive. And manjaris shouldn't let manjaris dry to this point. You always have to. The purpose Tulsi is giving manjaris is to use in the worship of the Lord. So you can't offer like dry manjaris to the Lord. Dry leaves, but I've never seen dry manjaris. I guess you could, but dry manjaris, when they start spreading their seeds, the wind, they fall, then they'll grow tulsis. You get thousands of tulsis. I'll show you some pictures. So this what happens if you don't trim your manjaris on time. You see all this manjaris. So now you have a task of now repotting every one of this tulsi. In Houston, when we didn't trim the manjaris on time, and also when our sprinklers going on, we have all this tulsi sprouting everywhere. And we have to take every one of this tulsi. Antonio has experience, we have to plant it in a pot. You see how the one tulsi is also growing? You see the one tulsi on top? The big leaves, the top left corner of this picture? That's one tulsi. We had at some time one tulsi plants in there, but now we don't. So now we have Ram and Sham. Um, And then, sometimes we have devotees, when Maha water, they come and dump the water in the dirt. And because the Tulsi and Manjaris are in the water, and Tulsi starts growing everywhere. So these are some pictures. When bees are coming to your Tulsi, that means your Tulsi is in a healthy state. So these, especially in our side of the world, mealybugs are the most notorious type of infestation Tulsi gets. It's like it leaves like a power, it's like a white stuff. It's kind of a sticky bug. It kind of makes like a little residue leaves behind, could be eggs or something. And those are the bugs. You see that? They're quite nasty. So what we do, we do not put any kind of insecticide or pesticide. We actually blast all this with water with a garden hose. I'll show you a video shortly. That's the best way to get rid of these bugs. You can put you can put some neem, it helps, but the best way to just like blast them with water. Um, of course, if you have a lot of ladybugs, then you won't have this problem. Okay. So here's some picture of is that my video there? So you see the video here. Wait, before is you see there's a white part and it's sprayed with water. You can put it on the horizontal mode in your garden hose. You gotta be very, very, you see that little white spot there, this one will get rid of it. Yeah, you spray like that. Those are all mealybugs. So you gotta be very attentive to see where these bugs are hiding. They're very expert. They hide in places. Sometimes when Tulsi gets a little aged, they hide in between the cracks in the bark of Tulsi. Antonio knows that a lot. So, so you got to have a very, very astute eye And if you let it persist, the whole Tulsi will start drying up, should become very weak because they sap the energy from the plant. Okay? So that's how you kind of blast Tulsi. If you don't have like a garden hose, if you're living in some apartment, you can take to the sink and use your spray head in your sink and try to do that. Best, but you need a certain force of water to dislodge these bugs. Sometimes you get aphids, which is not very common in our side. You get aphids also. I don't know if you'll get neem, but here I have neem plant in my home. Sometimes I actually pound the neem leaves and add a little one drop of soap and some turmeric. That also seems to help. So sometime, of course, we got caterpillars. Once in Houston, we had like in the greenhouse, all our tulsis were inside during winter cold. Used to be, yeah, happened to be cold. Then we realized all the leaves, the tulsi plants were getting very thin. And then we actually went through the entire, we have like so many tulsi plants in there, plant by plant, and we picked up more than 200 caterpillars. So the population of caterpillars also have to be checked. You got to be very, very attentive. Okay, they can really cause devastation because overnight she can lose her leaves. The way you know you have caterpillars is you see the droppings, the caterpillar droppings, they are black, drops everywhere, small, small, tiny drops. So you know that that's where caterpillars are there, okay? So lighting for Tulsi, these are the lights which we use. This EnviroGrow is the brand, but you have the same lamp being sold under different branding. The same lamp, but they sometimes call different. These are the type of lamps. We use T5 lamp bulbs, fluorescent. We alternate between blue and red. You could also get LED, which are colored, and best to have both spectrums there, both frequency lights. T5. That works for us. We got quite a few. How many have? How many do you have? Do you have eight? Antonio in there or six? Eight, right? We have more than eight, I think.
I think we have more than 8. Yep.
Yeah. So this is better to have Tulsi with some gap in between because if one Tulsi gets disease, it gets spread to the next one, right? Just like we treat her like a person, imagine somebody's always touching you. See your friend, he may be a very dear friend, but he's always sitting beside you and brushing against you. So similarly, Tulsi needs to have a space, she needs to have air, proper ventilation. So even when she's indoors, if you can have a fan, that will help. You need to recreate a very natural environment inside your home if you have it inside there. All right, so these are some of the things we use: osmocote, iodide, Epsom salt. These are three different type of plant nutrition. Tulsi, we can use this very comfortably. Specifically this iodide, don't use the lawn iodide. Epsom salt, Tulsi quite tolerant of Epsom salt. You can use Epsom salt. You can stagger. If you put osmocote, after 6 weeks, you can put iodine, and after 6 weeks, you can put Epsom salt. Don't dump all three together. And you have to make sure that the dirt is kind of loose. Don't have like a compacted dirt, because sometimes when you leave Tulsi without repotting her, the whole pot becomes compacted with roots, and then it's time to remove her. Also when you pull out Tulsi, there's a way to do it. You can, if the root becomes very compacted, you can literally lift up Tulsi from the pot. And then you got to put her in a bigger pot. And then you can shake up all the peripheral roots. Don't mess with the main root. The peripheral roots are very tiny, tiny roots. You can break it up. And then you put her in a pot, you fill it up with dirt. Then you put her in the middle. Then you fill out the periphery of the root system with dirt. And then you'll find in a few days you can see if she's very stunted, that means the roots are normally very compacted, or the dirt has become very hard, or the dirt is of low quality dirt, or you haven't given a nutrition. There's Antonio there taking care of this is our Mama Tulsi. We call her Mother Tulsi. But she's starting to fade now. She's at least, I think, 10 years old. So now she looks so bushy, but now she's like what, maybe 1/5 of it, number of branches. So she's getting old, but still we got to treat Tulsi with great care. So this is our Tulsi garden. We have our sprinkler system and all that. Our Tulsi house is what you all saw earlier. Do you all see our Tulsi house? This is our inside of our Tulsi house. We've got quite an expensive Tulsi house. Actually, this is in my garage. I take it back. This lighting system is in my garage, but we have the same lights in our Tulsi house. We didn't take a picture of a Tulsi house. Huh? This is, you can see all these things are inside our Tulsi house. You can see all the glass panels in the back. So this is our Tulsi care team. These are some of our Tulsis here. We are always giving away Tulsis because we can't handle it. It comes to a point there's a population explosion. In fact, now we have much more Tulsis than this, right? Probably at least what, 2, 3 times more than this we have. So every Sunday feast, we're giving Tulsis away to people. And people take it, and as after winter, they come back with their dead Tulsi and give it. So therefore, it's not nice, you take Tulsi home, and then only at the point of she's going to leave her body, if she's having some issue and you don't know how to take care, you can go and ask somebody who knows how to take care, or bring to the temple. We can look at her and say, okay, this is what's the problem. Do this, and all right. So that was our largest Tulsi in the Tulsi garden. Yeah. Okay. So now that y'all have heard, now y'all have an obligation to put what you've learned to practice, right? Of course, you can join our Tulsi Care team in Houston, but if you're somewhere else, then you should try to be part of your Tulsi Care team in your own yatra. Then you will learn practice. Only practice is going to make perfect. All right. So we'll stop here. Any questions? Any comments? We got
Yeah,
10 minutes.
yeah.
How many
Thank you very
people
much,
have joined
Prabhuji,
now?
yeah, we have almost 31 devotees. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful class. So devotees, if you have any question, please raise the hand, and you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question to Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Prannath Gopal Das. Thank you so much for this session. Very, uh, we learned a lot. Just a quick question, Prabhu. Are we allowed to use any scissors or knives on Tulsi while trimming
Yeah,
them?
you can.
Okay.
Actually, if you use your fingers, often, unless you're very expert, you're going to kind of cannot trim tulsi with your fingers properly. So you got to use very pointed fingers so you don't do too much damage. If you use very like a blunt scissors, you got to very pointed and sharp scissors. You can trim tulsi. That's the some different devotees have different opinions about that. But normally when you use with your fingers, invariably you're going to have a problem where you like what you're going to have is you're going to yank tulsi and leave a stalk behind. Some I've seen some devotees are not very gentle. They just pull the manjaris like that. And like I say, you got to treat tulsi. It's okay. It's perfectly fine trimming. Pruning is part of the health of every plant, and tulsi is no different. You got to prune the dead twigs. You got to prune the manjaris. You got to prune the aging manjaris.
Okay,
Okay.
well, thank you. And one more, if I can ask. So
Sure,
once
sure.
we have a dead Tulsi Maharani, means usually I just collect it at one place, but it's too much then at some point of time, you know.
Yeah, what you can do, you can like break up all the branches, and then maybe you can tie it in little bundles. And then when they have a fire sacrifice at a temple, you can place in the fire. You see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And this year we tried to use it during Damodar month actually.
Yes, yes. So you can do that. So it's a challenge. So taking care of Tulsi is not easy if you're going to get leaves getting blown away, and you shouldn't be stepping on Tulsi, at home when she, especially even you got proper lighting, prolonged periods indoors is not very favorable for Tulsi. So you need to create some kind of cross ventilation, proper lighting. And what we do is in Houston, of course, we don't get sub 45 degrees for a long period. If it happens, sometime we get like 10 days. Worse, I've seen like 10 days. So we can really see Tulsi's health is affected. So sometimes, even if the weather drops for one day to below 45, we bring her inside. The moment it goes above 45, and the next few days we bring her out. So we are always moving Tulsi inside and outside. And we're always watching the weather. So you got to be very attentive in Tulsi service. So if you're leaving home a couple of days, you water Tulsi and you don't check the weather, tomorrow is going to be 41, and you go and you come back, your Tulsi will be dead, most likely. All right, so you got to be careful, watch the weather. I would say don't try to plant Tulsi underground, especially when the weather gets cold, because sometimes she gets really big. Now that you got the challenge of uprooting this tulsi and putting in a pot and bringing, and people don't have the talent to do that, don't have the ability. Some people simply do not have the space, or they can't even carry a pot like that. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. I think we have two hands.
Yes.
Prahalanda Prabhu, if you want to ask a question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Dharma Pranam. Prabhuji, I have a question regarding picking up tulsi leaves. Can we, somebody told me not to touch that index finger. Is that correct or
It's okay. These
it's
are
okay?
all highly we shouldn't get too technical. We have to be respectful. If you feel this is the best way you can pick leaves, why
Mhm.
not?
Yeah.
But if you pick this way and you're tearing Tulsi up,
Okay.
it's not doing her service.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Number two, somebody told me not to pick it up night time, but I
Yeah.
usually do it in the Brahmurat. So is it
No,
okay
no,
to do?
morning is fine. But after the sun sets, it's not, she's like a resting period. You shouldn't just like plants, you're not supposed to pick flowers at night
Okay.
for various reasons.
Mhm.
For Tulsi especially, it's not disrespectful. You can water Tulsi,
Right.
but don't like, because it's hard for you to see
Mhm.
Tulsi and you're picking, you could damage her, or you trying to trim the manjaris at
Mhm.
night. Not a good idea.
Okay. Another thing is, uh, you said that we should treat her as a daughter like that in the house. So is it good to, dress her up? I see in temples they dress her up
Yeah, yeah,
with
you
a
would have
skirt
good to
like
have a
that.
skirt. Yeah,
Yeah.
because in with your altar, you always need to. It's best to have Tulsi by your altar every day,
Mm.
and you rotate the Tulsi. Like in my case, I bring one Tulsi, I keep in the morning.
Mm.
My wife does a puja and everything. She
Okay.
uses the leaves and Tulsi puja, and then the next day we put that Tulsi out and we bring another Tulsi in.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, and you will see even by a single night she can shed leaves. especially when she's indoors. Of course, at the altar, we don't have plant lights, but when we bring her indoors, when it's too cold, then we have plant lights, then she doesn't shed so much leaves. But even your house may be lighted, those are not the lights for plants.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's good to have those fluorescent lights which you suggest.
Yeah, the T5 blue and red wavelengths.
Okay. And another thing about, when we go out vacation like that, is it okay if we put some sprinkler there, which regularly,
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Okay.
That's fine, but you got to make sure the temperature doesn't drop too low when we are away.
I live in Las Vegas, so, kind of it is hot weather like that most of the
That's
time.
fine. If you're living in warm weather areas, then that's not a challenge. So we have more people asking super.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
Prabhu. We are taking time. Sorry. Haribol, go ahead.
Suparnamata, if you want to ask the next question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for such beautiful class. I have a question. If we accidentally overwater Tulsi, what to do?
If you overwater her, if it's summer, that's not a problem. But if you overwater when she's indoors, you can quite very soon see leaves are turning brown. Typically, they starts at the edge of the leaves and they start spreading inwards. Then the leaves start dropping. When you first see it, what you could do is you can put it under a light, so the moisture, put it close to the light, so the moisture leaves the dirt fast. So you can water her and keep in a place where there's not an opportunity for the water to escape the dirt. All right. So I would not recommend uprooting her and putting, especially in winter and all. You got to be very careful. You can really weaken unless you know how to do it. But if you overwater it, if you overwater it once, it's okay. But if you repeatedly do it, that's when Tulsi will show signs of disease, and she will get prone to infestation too. When Tulsi becomes weak, she also gets prone to infestation. Just like when we lose our immunity, we get prone to disease, all kind of disease. So we got to keep Tulsi healthy. In winter, the dirt has to be barely damp. It shouldn't be dry, but you should just touch it, and even you should feel that the dirt shouldn't stick to your finger. If the dirt sticks to your finger, that means it's too wet. That's
Okay.
how is an indication. Okay.
But when I understood that part, like I've also heard from many other devotees that that dirt should not stick to your hand. I was making sure of that, but then I don't know if water is not sufficient. Leaves starts wilting.
Yeah,
And
if your
they're
leaf
so
starts wilting, most likely many reasons could be. One is overwatering. You don't have sufficient light. You're not using the right type of dirt.
okay.
So all this could be reasoned.
Is there any kind of a document like which dirt
Yeah,
we can?
I can send something called Tulsi Care.
Okay.
It's a PDF document. I'll send to Ishwara Krishna Prabhu and he can share with you. I think I've already done it before, Ishwara Krishna.
So we did in the past also, but yeah, Mataji, I can get from Prabhuji and then, put in the spiritual group that we have. And
Yeah, that would be really helpful, Prabhu.
Yeah,
yeah,
you'll have to, like I said, when you have Tulsi, you got to be very, very attentive.
I wish I could
Very
say.
attentive, just like you got to treat her like your very own child. And the moment you see something is not wrong, even you are busy, you got to attend to her. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anyway, if you're having some challenges, Ishwar Krishna can give my number to you. You can reach out to me, and we can get on a video call. And I see it's hard to see it typically on a video, but still, I see if I can help you. Okay?
Sure. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Lalita Govind Prabhu.
Mataji,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One question around.
Oh, Lalita, go with Priya. I thought Lalita, sorry. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One question around pruning. So I've heard we should also prune when there are multiple leaves coming up so that the Tulasi Maharani can grow bushy, or we should only prune only during the manjaris. Please, can you explain that?
Yeah, you trim the manjaris. You also, we don't trim any live branch, we don't trim. Only dead branches you trim. If you keep trimming your dead branches, you will see Tulsi will become very bushy.
Okay.
Okay, just like if you get a wound, um, you have to it's like leaving your like you're like I hate to use the word amputate, but you only want to trim the dead branches right at the bottom, where let's say I have a live branch, and then from there, after some time branch is dead, you go to the base of the live branch and you trim at the base. Or when you trim manjaris, make sure you go to the next. Normally when you trim manjaris, you need to go typically 2 sets of leaves. You got manjari, and then right below the manjaris you have typically 2 leaves. Then below that you will have sometimes 2 leaves or 4 leaves. Then you go next level down where the leaves are right at the base of that you trim, because many reasons for Tulsi's health. The other is only when you have a decent size manjari with a stalk, you can make garlands. You can't just trim the manjari alone and make a garland. You see my point?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. And one more thing, you mentioned about the three things: Epsom salt and every 6 weeks. But when should we change the soil itself? Like, is it?
The soil doesn't need to be changed. We use Miracle Grow, but if the soil gets too compacted, it's time to change, because the roots, let's say Tulsi is getting big, the roots are filling up the whole pot. But you have to aerate your soil. You will know when Tulsi, when her growth becomes, she may look healthy, but her growth is stunted. She doesn't grow any bigger than what that means. It's time to change a pot.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Maitri Prabhu, if you want to unmute yourself and ask.
Maitreyi Mataji, right?
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Maitreyi
Mataji.
Mataji from Leak City.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'm so happy I finally found the link in our group and I'm here. So, Prabhuji, I just wanted to know what kind of pot should we have? Should we use a clay pot
A
or
clay pot is
so?
good, clay
Yeah.
pot is good, but clay pot in summer could be challenging because the water, because of the porosity of the clay pot, the water leaves the pot very fast. So we practically all of our tulsi is in plastic pots.
Okay, Prabhuji. So, any
And
kind.
this pot, sometime, we don't think. Some of them just take some kind of tub, like a bucket, and plant tulsi, and not knowing that water needs to drain. So if you have some kind of pot, bucket, a brand new bucket, like a Home Depot bucket, you want to put tulsi, it's okay, but you got to make sure you drill holes in the bottom. Because if you don't, the water stays there and you will find very soon tulsi is going to leave. The roots will become rotted. So the water has to drain the pot. So you get a proper pot. If you don't have a pot, if your tulsi is big, you want to use a Home Depot 5-gallon bucket, you can do it. But you got to make sure you drill holes in the bottom to drain the water.
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay, yes, Prabhuji will do. But I'm going to get like a beautiful, or I'll probably paint.
Yeah, get a pot. You can get plastic pots. You got nice plastic pots. If you get ceramic pots, there's nothing wrong, but you got to water many times. Because it
Okay.
gets really hot. Let's say 100 degrees, you water, you'll find in 2 hours your water is gone from the pot. Because it's
Yes,
porous.
Prabhuji.
Ceramic,
Yes, Prabhuji.
the ceramic absorbs the water first thing, and then it's porous and it leaves the pot very fast. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I wanted to ask, you just, as you said, you also have a neem plant. So
Yeah.
how does neem propagate? Does it propagate from a cutting, or
No,
do
neem
we have...
you can propagate from a cutting to, but neem you can typically, if you go to some of the oriental nurseries in Houston, they sell neem plants. Even
Okay.
some Indian stores, they also sell neem plants.
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. Thank you,
Okay?
Prabhuji. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, there's a one question in the chat. So someone said something heard during Ekadashi. Is that true, or is there any rules during Ekadashi?
No. Only I've heard that Dwadasi you cannot pick leaves, but if it happens that there's no Tulsi leaves to offer to Krishna on Dwadasi, what do? It's okay to pluck Tulsi and offer because ultimately it's for Krishna's pleasure. Okay? So we do that. So Ekadasi, you can trim Tulsi, no problem. Only in Dwadasi, there's some scriptural thing, but it happens so that they all ran out of Tulsi leaves. Krishna doesn't have Tulsi leaves for his lotus feet, so it's okay. All right, I've never heard Prabhupada, anywhere Prabhupada stating that Tulsi cannot be picked, even though there's some reference made in scripture, but Prabhupada never implemented that stricture in ISKCON because ultimately for Krishna's pleasure needs to be done. Okay, if y'all can pick a lot of leaves the day before and manjaris on Ekadasi and next day y'all have plenty, then we don't have to pick any leaves or manjaris. You can water Tulsi and do all that. Okay? Now, Tulsi is liberated. We shouldn't see her as a sadhaka like us. All right, some people say, oh, on Ekadasi, you cannot water Tulsi because she's fasting. All this is taking things to extreme. Okay?
I think that's all question. The only last question I have, Prabhuji, like between the Ram Tulsi and the Shyam Tulsi, right? Is there any preference, for Krishna, or there is no? It's like a
No preference. Okay?
Thank you very
This
much,
name
Prabhuji.
became Ram and Sham because of the color.
Okay. I thought like a Shyam Tulsi is more dear to
Yeah,
Krishna.
yeah.
So
So I see people coming, oh, I want Sham Tulsi, I want Sham Tulsi. They think if they get Sham Tulsi, it's more preferable for Krishna. No, Tulsi is Tulsi. Of course, they all look beautiful, but Sham Tulsi looks specifically beautiful because of the color. And but you cannot be very selective. Somebody gives you Ram Tulsi, you cannot say I want Sham Tulsi. You should, when Tulsi comes, you should take Tulsi.
okay.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you,
All
Prabhuji.
right.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. And I think we can conclude here. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevcha patitanam
Patitanam
pavan
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you all
Hare
so
Krishna.
much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu. Thank you.
And once you share with me, Prabhuji, I will post it in the group. Thank you,
Sure.
devotees. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
Hare
We'll see
Krishna.
you again. Thank you. Hare Krishna, devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you.